My brother-in-law confessed feelings for me after I went wedding dress shopping with his fiancée. Posted by you/NoPoet4293. This just happened today, and I'm using a throwaway account because I promote my small business on my main and want to remain anonymous for this. Okay, I'm pretty overwhelmed, so I'll start with some background. I've been with my husband for 5 years, and we've been married for 2. Since early on in the relationship, I've been great friends with his older brother, partially because I always wanted a brother. When he started dating a girl about 2 years ago, I went out of my way to make sure she knew she had a friend in me if she wanted, since we're the only girls in the family. We're great friends now, and since they got engaged 3 months ago, I've been helping with wedding planning and was asked to be a bridesmaid. We went dress shopping today and had a blast. We went to brunch, had some mimosas, found the dress, and went back to their house to celebrate. I ended up alone in the kitchen with my brother-in-law a bit after we got there, and he said he just had to tell me something before I kept eating at him. I was a little buzzed and confused, but I was not at all expecting him to say what he did. I think I've had feelings for you for a few years, and I've never been able to tell you. I just needed to know if you ever felt the same. I completely froze and just shook my head. I told him that no, I have never thought about him in any way other than a friend and a brother, and I never would. Before he said anything else, I bolted back to his fiancée and the other girls and very discreetly told her I got my period, wasn't feeling well, and would have someone come get me. I also said I'd come by soon for more wedding planning. She thought nothing of it, and I called my best friend to come get me. She dropped me off at home. My husband is working right now, and there is no question that I'm going to tell him as soon as he gets home. But I just have no idea where to go from there. Do I tell his fiancée? Do I make him tell her? Do I leave it? Should I have my husband talk to him? Has anyone ever had something like this happen or have any advice? Anything is appreciated. Relevant comments. Commenter. One step at a time. You already plan to tell your husband. Your husband is your teammate, so decide together what to do. This is such a hard situation to be in. He put you in a weird position. You'd be betraying your brother-in-law's fiancé by not telling, but if you do tell, things in the family will get weird and divided, but that wouldn't be your fault. I'm pissed he did this to you. WTF did he think you were going to do? Leave his brother for him? Right before the wedding? I would reach out to the brother-in-law and shoo him out. Ops response. You're right, one step at a time. I think I'm trying to think 10 steps ahead because that's just who I am, and this is impossible to plan for because it's so messed up. My husband and I always say it's us against the problem, so of course, I will tell him immediately, and we'll plan together. Commenter's response. Girl, there is no way to organize an explosion. This is straight up a bomb. You will never be fully prepared for whatever happens next. A wedding, a potential marriage, friendships, and a whole family are at stake right now. You don't know who is going to turn on you, how this is going to divide the family, or what if they decide to work things out and go on with the wedding anyway. That's going to be one awkward as hell wedding. There are a lot of emotions that are going to be emotioning. That's not a word, I'm just saying. Commenter 2. It's probably too late, but I think telling your husband was about the most disruptive thing you could have done. It would have been better to tell his brother, look, you feel how you feel, and you said what you said, but I'm telling you right now, if you ever dare approach me again with this, I will not only tell your brother but put your whole family on blast. Wash it out of your mind, and I'll forgive you this once. Don't test me. That would have put an end to it while keeping peace in the family. Ops response. I can see this, and a few others have mentioned it too. But the way I see it, things like this almost always have a way of coming out. And if it does come out later, I can only imagine the hurt my husband would feel if he knew I had kept it from him. And it wouldn't weigh on me in the meantime. He is the one with the feelings, not me, so why would I choose to suffer that way? Update 1 day later. Thanks to everyone who helped calm my panicked mind after my original post. I didn't want to tell my husband, we need to talk, while he was still at work and make him panic, so having some reassurance from here was really helpful. I also noticed a lot of people asking for an update, so here is one, even I was shocked by it as I lived through it. It's not exactly the earth-shattering blow-up most people thought it would be. When my husband came home, he immediately knew I had something on my mind. I explained the whole situation, and he was livid at his brother. Thankfully, he gave me a hug, and I broke down crying from the stress. He assured me I had done everything right and that it wasn't my fault. After that, he called his brother to tell him he knew what had happened and wanted to talk to him one-on-one. Well, it turns out his brother and fiancé were already on their way to our house to discuss it. As soon as the other girls left, not long after me, my brother-in-law confessed everything to his fiancée. First, she slapped him, deserved. But after they talked and he promised her his feelings for her were genuine, she told him he needed to apologize to me and his brother before they could move forward. So they came over, and my husband and his brother talked privately while I talked with his fiancée. We both cried and talked for about an hour. I promised her I never had any feelings for him and had no idea he ever had any for me. Apparently, she had caught him gazing at me on a family vacation once and thought maybe he had some attraction to me. So while this situation was terrible, she felt some relief that she wasn't crazy for thinking it. He admitted she was right and said he believed his feelings stemmed from jealousy that his younger brother was further along in life than him, and he attributed that to me in some way. This was new for him as the older brother, since they hadn't really compared themselves much growing up due to their vastly different paths, more apples to oranges. But now, there was some perceived competition on a similar playing field. He said the feelings had faded, but when his fiancée came home saying she found a dress, he felt an urge to come clean. He wished he had said it differently or worked through it with help to understand his feelings before making this whole mess. I don't know about all that, but I guess I can understand it with a clearer head. I mean, if the Oedipus complex can be a thing, I can see him having some complex feelings that manifested as attraction but didn't affect his love for his fiancée. This all happened in one night, and he was visibly distressed over it, so I find it hard to believe he could have woven a whole story like that. I'm inclined to believe him. When my husband and his brother returned to the living room, my brother-in-law looked like a puppy who just got in trouble. He also looked a little roughed up, but I didn't question it. We all talked, and he apologized to me for putting me in this position. Where things stand, their wedding is on hold privately while they figure out their next steps. Thankfully, nothing had been booked, and no dates had been sent out. We had gone wedding dress shopping just to get an idea, and it was just luck that she fell in love with a dress. They are planning to go to couples therapy to decide if and how they can move past this. There is clear love between them. Things will be tense, but I think he feels genuine remorse, and my potential sister-in-law says she holds no ill will against me. If they move forward, she'd still love to have me as a bridesmaid if I'm willing. My husband and his brother have some serious work to do on their relationship, and my friendship with my brother-in-law will never be the same, but we'll see what happens. We've also agreed to keep this between the four of us. They will be honest about doing premarital counseling before setting dates or planning the wedding. I saw a lot of comments telling me to keep my mouth shut and that no harm was done. While I guess I can see your point, I just couldn't imagine keeping something like this from my husband. Especially if it came out later and he found out I had withheld it. Trust is huge in our partnership, and even omission feels like a betrayal of that. Sure, I knew this could blow up if I let it out, but that would be my brother-in-law's fault, not mine. He had complete control over what he chose to tell me. Thanks again to everyone who helped me through that scary processing time alone. Relevant comments. Commenter. I'd love to know the subtle things you did to him all these years. You never flirted with him in any way at all? Bro's feelings and confidence to shoot his shot had to come from somewhere. Ops response. It wasn't like it was a smooth talking question, he stumbled through it. And no, I never flirted with him. I teased him in the same way his entire family does, they're that kind of family, and after about a year, I joined in. The only thing I did that the rest of the family didn't was drink with him more, basically just because we're the only two who like to do shots and share the same liquor preference. I would never dream of flirting with my partner's brother at any point in the relationship. Commenter 2. He was willing to blow up his family to be with you. How did he think that would work out if you had said yes? What a horrible thing to do to his brother and everyone else. There's no coming back from this, your brother-in-law is a piece of crap. You just don't realize it yet, it hasn't fully sunk in for anyone. His fiancée is going to bail on him, and your husband is going to cut off communication with him. Ops response. That's so extreme. And it didn't seem like he had any intention of being with me, it felt more like something he felt guilty about and needed to get off his chest. I hate that he did it, but I don't think it immediately changes everything about him or makes him a piece of crap. If his fiancée leaves him, so be it. But my husband has no intention of cutting off contact with him. We all make mistakes and bad judgment calls. Second update 1 day later. I wanted to address a couple of common responses I've been seeing here and provide another next day update. To everyone telling me not to tell anyone or to give him a mulligan, that was never an option for me. My husband and I are a team, and we don't keep secrets, only surprises. It's something we agreed on before getting married. If I didn't tell him and it came out later, it would be as good as lying to his face. I did nothing wrong, and I know my husband would stand by me, so that just wasn't an option I was willing to consider. As for the claims that I'd be blowing up multiple families, I'm not the one who confessed feelings. He opened this can of worms, and it's not my responsibility to keep this secret. If this does blow up his relationship or his family, that's on him, not me. There were a lot of other recurring themes in the comments, but those two stood out, and I wanted to address them. For this small update, my husband actually called his brother today and asked if he wanted to go to one of their favorite bars to watch the game together, a pretty common activity for them or for all four of us before all this happened. My brother-in-law was shocked but agreed. Shortly after, his fiancée called me and asked if she could come over while they were gone. She was honest and said it might be awkward, but we used to do this a lot, either working on DIY projects together, doing puzzles, or watching movies. She wanted to see if I'd be open to keeping this up, as long as we were both comfortable with it, while they worked through things, so our relationship doesn't deteriorate. It meant the world to me, and I said of course. All four of us agreed that they, my brother-in-law and his fiancée, would start seeing a couples therapist as soon as possible, and my brother-in-law would see one on his own as well. Until they get a better grasp on his feelings and their own plan, we won't get all four of us together, and my brother-in-law and I will not be alone together. My potential sister-in-law is one of the most level-headed and kind-hearted people I've ever met. My brother-in-law used to have a lot of walls up, which she naturally broke down, and this behavior is so out of character for him. His proposal to her was so well-planned and thoughtful, tailored to her down to the smallest detail. He picked out a new outfit for her, had the perfect ring, and even included a blanket in her favorite color at the setting, a detail he chose intentionally. He even arranged for her parents to be there, despite the fact that they live hours away. It's clear that he loves her, and I truly don't believe that even if I had said yes, he would have left her to be with me, not that it would ever have been an option. I truly see a way forward for them and for all of us. We're all committed to finding the best outcome for everyone involved. My marriage is solid, and we have our regular marriage maintenance couples therapy appointment coming up soon anyway, so we'll check in with an outside opinion, but I'm not worried. They're going for a consultation with a therapist from the same practice in just a couple of days. Obviously, this won't be a quick or smooth fix, as what happened was really messed up, but I'm feeling much more optimistic than many of the comments here, and I wanted to share that. Relevant comments. Commenter. Future sister-in-law is pathetic for staying with that man. That's all I'm going to say. Ops response. I don't think it's pathetic to give something, even a messed up situation, a little extra time to decide how to move forward. The way she sees it, she can leave and nobody would blame her, not even herself. But she loves him, and for her own sake, she wants to take a moment to more deeply understand the situation before deciding whether to stay or leave. She was planning a future with him, and if she leaves immediately, she'll have a lot of inner turmoil and what-ifs to work through. If she takes a few therapy sessions and then decides to leave, she'll feel more confident in her decision. That's her choice to make. You might think it's pathetic, but it's what she has decided is best for her. Commenter 2. This story is kind of anticlimactic. Couldn't you add in a tiger or a sword fight? Ops response. Here's a little more of a climax. It turns out she had a physical attraction or a small crush on a coworker at one point, about 8 months into their relationship. This is why she felt a bit more sympathy and was willing to try to work on things. She said it's something that can happen without changing the fact that she loves him. Maybe the coworker was a spy or something to add some drama? Kidding, but there was that slight development. Third update 3 weeks later. Hi everyone, I wanted to share a final update, as I'm still receiving notifications about them. For some context, I'm 27F, my husband is 28M, my brother-in-law is 32M, and his fiancée is 29F. This started as a throwaway account, but now it's just an anonymous account, and this will likely be my last update regarding the story. Since this happened, we have talked, and my brother-in-law has explained some of his feelings, at least as much as he has understood so far, thanks to a lot of introspection and therapy. The silver lining in all of this is that he is now spending some much-needed time working through his feelings and coping mechanisms. He group texted my husband and me and asked if we could talk together. It was mostly to talk to me, but he didn't want there to be any gray areas moving forward. To sum it up, he very sincerely apologized to me for the position he put me in and to both of us for the betrayal of our relationships. After a few therapy sessions discussing his root feelings, he realized how terrified he was of change, even when it was good, and, frankly, his fear of a failed marriage. He was older and had understood so much more about his parents' divorce than my husband had, and he hadn't realized how deeply that had affected him because he had pushed it down for so long. My husband and I had met before my brother-in-law met his fiancée, and in the early days, he had an attraction to me. But he pushed those feelings away because, obviously, I was with his brother. When he met his fiancée, he truly fell in love with her, and we all knew it by the way he acted. I mean, this guy is usually stubborn and stoic, but he just melted for her. He changed so many habits, for the better, for her sake and for their future. Nobody questioned whether he loved her, and he was so excited to propose, though he knew he was nervous about the life change. When we went out dress shopping and came back a little tipsy and excited, she gushed to him about wedding details and ideas, and he got overwhelmed. So he did a couple of shots, not saying it was a good choice, but it's the one he made, and when I came out, As someone he had turned to for comfort or advice on more than one occasion, he just exploded and said what he said. He had so many thoughts running through his head, and I can't say I'm that mad at him for what happened. When I got engaged, no matter how much I loved my husband and how great our marriage is now, I have to admit I had a few late-night musings about what life would be like once married, because it should not be taken lightly. He was so genuine in his apology and ashamed of his thoughts and actions, he was damn near in tears. When his brother hugged him, he lost it. I gave him a hug as well, and he couldn't stop thanking us for not just telling him to F off. His fiancée joined us after our talk, and she said that while she's still struggling with trusting him and they won't be getting married on the same timeline they had planned, she's not leaving him, as long as he continues to work on his feelings and unpacks his emotions around marriage. They go to couples therapy and also attend individual therapy, and I think we all see a road forward, knowing it won't be easy. In my past posts, so many people thought my brother-in-law was making it up to get out of it and that he would have thrown away his relationship for me. Call me crazy or naive, but I don't see it that way, and nobody else involved does either. We addressed the possibility and dismissed it. I appreciate the level of care people have shown for me and my future sister-in-law, and we will continue to show care for her and my brother-in-law as they navigate this together. Relevant comments. Commenter. Hopefully, everything goes well, and both of y'all's relationships grow stronger. Also, you and your sister-in-law are rock stars, both strong and good women. I'm still a little annoyed at your brother-in-law, lol. Ops response. Oh, we're all still annoyed and feeling many other emotions, but we're choosing to prioritize our compassion. Commenter 2. Seems like there's a silver lining in all this mess. You all are so level-headed and kind to each other. You are truly being raised by good parents, and I'm so very happy that all of you deal with such matters with maturity and kindness. Wishing nothing but the best for all of you, especially your future sister-in-law. She deserves so much to be with a guy who put her through all of this. She is beyond open-minded and caring to the people around her, particularly her fiancé. And your brother-in-law is a very lucky guy.